Good morning, traders, and welcome to Phoenix Blue's morning update. My name is Nishal Patel. Hope you're all very well this morning. Today is Thursday, the 6th of April, and I'm going to be conducting this morning's morning update, give you a quick synopsis of what we should expect on the marketplace. Remember always, if you've got any questions, do not hesitate to send us an email at info@phoenixblue.co.uk. Alternatively, visit our website for more details on us here at Phoenix Blue. Starting on quickly, let's just have a quick look at the announcements for today. We've had ECB President Draghi speaking this morning already. We've had a reaction from the markets already, and we'll have a quick look at that in a moment. And later on, we do have the fortnightly unemployment claims out on the USD, as always. No other key news except something that the investors will be looking at and is not mentioned on the screen right now is meetings between Trump and leader of China. Obviously, with two huge economies and two very powerful people indeed. No doubt trade negotiations may be hammered out, and some terms may be created from the meeting. But I think investors are going to be looking at those two powerhouses and the meeting between them to see potentially what kicks up from that meeting. So again, I would say that's very important and obviously not put on to the screen as I've just stated. Now going straight on forward to the charts, just having a look at the euro first and foremost. Remember, Draghi has spoken from the ECB. Now, as we see on our chart right now, the euro floating at 1.0642, just below that 0.670 area. Key area of support and resistance as we've got highlighted on the chart right now. And what we had is, and we'll most certainly be able to see that if we scale down onto a smaller time frame from last night's action to this morning. What we saw is the euro hover in and above that range, so definitely in that range off this long-term trend line, bouncing off. It had broken through it on this intraday environment, but as we saw from first thing this morning, we saw the euro come down and break the 0.630, 0.640 area, which was quite key. Came down, hit a low as we've got highlighted on the chart right now at 0.628, so has moved somewhat. Draghi was extremely dovish in his speech, and definitely playing down the continuation of tapering from the ECB, but again, his dovish tone not giving too much away. We've obviously seen a reaction from the market in regards to that, coming down, taking out the previous lows that we saw over the build-up of yesterday. Currently having broken my daily S1. And still below my pivot level and the intersection of that trend line as well, which might be quite interesting on a daily, might be quite interesting on an intraday environment later on today. Moving on forward, having a quick look at the Japanese yen. Japanese yen sitting at 110, just below 110.50. Again, very low. Not having taken out my in fact, we just move over to this daily time frame, should be able to see it very well. And in fact, let's just delete that as well so we can see the chart nice and clearly. Not having taken out my previous low formatted on this daily chart of the low 110s, so we've got a low of 110.08 here. Right now sitting at 110, just below 110.50, and oscillating in and around that. Obviously off that daily inverted hammer or high test, effectively, from the last pullback that we saw yesterday. Looks to come down and potentially retest that area again. Might might be very interesting. I know that maybe some traders may be gearing up for a potential reversal trade that we may see formulating right now. So again, may be interesting, maybe on people's radars for early next week. Having a look right now on the having a look at the Australian dollar right now. Right now settling on the daily time frame just on the 200 moving average. Currently floating at 75.42 circa. Again, uh, much of this week has been extremely bearish and coming off its previous highs that we've got highlighted on this chart. Remember, this has been a great short trade for the most part of last month, but has spent much of this year in and above this range that we've seen here. So quite interesting. Many of you would have found some really good trades across its crosses. Now having a look at cable, our local currency here in the UK, currently sitting at 1.4846, oscillating right now in and around that zone. Haven't seen too much action off it today. The onus really has been on the euro. Have seen slight movement and adjustment on the yen, of course, but sterling staying fairly static today and quite quiet. Remember, sterling, there is a lot going on, and no doubt every day you're hearing something on the British pound from us at Phoenix Blue in regards to Brexit negotiations, as well as data. We did have PMI data coming out yesterday, a lot stronger than most people would have expected. Again, the strength in the economy, we're definitely seeing resilience here in the UK, and that's propping up the pound somewhat. Moving on to the next chart of interest, and I think it's quite a very much a key chart right now. Just having a look, just increasing the size of this chart. We're seeing a 15-minute time frame on WTI, and what we can see off yesterday afternoon was we saw a sell-off on WTI here off this 52, off a key 52 level, and staying below that right now, floating at 51.27 per barrel. Moving on to a daily time frame, I think we can evaluate it with a lot more certainty, and we've got some key levels here highlighted on this time frame. Now, for you guys, what you should have noted is yesterday inventories did come out from the US, showing increased stockpiles out in the US, so really putting the brakes on OPEC's production cuts effectively, and trying to drive the price of oil back up. So it's halted this rally that we've had over the best course of the last 8-9 days, off this low that we saw just below the 48, or in the mid 47s, that we saw earlier on the week before, and really has gained some momentum. But that inventory, that stockpile inventory check that we saw come out from the US did show bloated stockpiles, and that's obviously had a knock-on effect onto this chart right now. Again, below that 52, bouncing off that 52 level quite nicely. But what will be interesting is how the inventories in the US fare over the next month, definitely a few weeks to potentially a couple of months, as OPEC production cuts start hitting global stockpiles. Remember that the data that came out yesterday was just on US stockpiles, so may be interested. Could be setting up for a bullish move, and most certainly we may see oil back in the 54 zone fairly quickly. Again, a chart to watch. Gold, again, very interesting, sitting just above the 1250 mark, again floating at 1253.78 right now this morning. Off this low test that we saw yesterday, came down, had a dive down, tested effectively this 20-day moving average before bounding straight back up again, closing above that 53 and hasn't taken out the 53 sorry 1253 zone this morning or today. All right, guys, just have a final look. I'll just have a quick look at the dollar index, and what we can see is the dollars up today. Effectively, let's not forget this is a future, but having a look at the benchmark of the strength of the US dollar, and we can see it back at what we see as a key level on this chart, and floating just above the 100 mark on this particular index. Again, probably gathered much of the momentum from the move on the euro after the ECB press conference earlier on this morning. So, guys, quite interesting shape up towards the tail end of this week. No doubt, key areas of interest on many of our charts gearing up for the following week, and also potentially some intraday trading opportunities. If you'd like to find out how you can take advantage of the markets and how we do here at Phoenix Blue, then feel free again to follow us on any of our social media, but in particular sending an email over to us at info@phoenixblue.co.uk stating what you would like, and we'll be happy to get back to you. Until next time, guys, happy trading. Goodbye.